Good everyone, welcome to today's video, and today we have a subscriber replace into my Moxie, and well, today he was in his F4U-1A US Marine Corps Corsair. Now, this was actually my first plane that I got 8 kills in. The one that I got 9 in was the Falcon 189. And well, I think I still have a screenshot of it somewhere. If I can have a look, but I don't think I still have it. I might have deleted it. I'm not certain, I'll have to probably take a look sometime. But it appears to me that Moxie was grinding the Lucy Bell camouflage, which I have on, I believe. This is this is the Lucy Bell. Now, to get this camouflage, you do have to get, let's have a look, 130 players defeated. Obviously, RB is times 3, SB is times 6. So, for Moxie to get this, he would have had to have had around about 44 kills in total. Moxie's a good player. He cleaned up pretty well in this battle. His guns were working a bit odd though, and well, I suspect Moxie was probably using ground targets in his Corsair, and personally I prefer universal in Corsairs to just pack a bit more punch. That's just me. But Moxie was flying solo, and his allied team just died as per usual, and well, it is quite clear to me that Moxie is... Moxie was obviously thinking, oh crap, at this moment, when the battle obviously commences. But even so, Moxie did do reasonably well to say he was pretty much on his own with a boomerang most of the battle. But hey, let's see how he did, shall we? So, let's go back and get his F4U-1A Ace. Now, I haven't flown a US Marine Corps Corsair in a long time. I've not flown it for about a year now. I did the Lucy Bell camouflage last year, and it was one of the best planes, people. If you've not flown the F4U-1A US Marine Corps Corsair, you haven't lived. This plane's great. It's got good climb, good guns, good speed, good maneuverability, for a Corsair at least. And you're going to see Moxie put this warbird to the test. Now, I did have a sound mod on when I first watched this replay. Sadly, the sound mod, yes, it makes this Corsair sound like a beast, but some of the guns that are in the game files get deleted, so they have no sound. They have the firing effect, obviously, but they don't actually have a firing sound. So I thought, if I take the mod off, do this from now on, it's just easier in my opinion. So I believe Moxie is fully spaded in this battle. And one other thing to note about the sound mod I used was that if you went into that mode there, you didn't have any sound at all, only from allied aircraft. If you want to download the sound mod, it's called the Sparta Sound Mod. It should be on War Thunder Live. But I am going to skip ahead quite a bit because, well, Moxie's going to spend most of his time climbing, which is the wise thing to do in a Corsair. Look, I've actually spoke to Moxie a couple of times in the comment section. Obviously, last time we had a full-on conversation was our was his opinion about the Battlefield Engineer event. I didn't get that much backlash, surprisingly. But then Moxie puts in chat, winningly, do not die too fast, and well, I'm afraid to say, mate, you just jinxed your team because they're about to die massively. As you can tell by the battle, well, a Su-202 has already destroyed one of the SPDs. The Heineken 111 has even shot down a Spitfire. BF-109's been shooting up his team. C-205 just shot down a Leo 451. And well, let's just say, people, his team is going to die. Now, at these altitudes, the Corsair handles very nicely. Obviously, those gull wings are absolutely fun, and the real-life nickname of this plane, if you didn't know, was the Whistling Death. The Japanese named it that because it made a distinctive whistle sound, like a... I'll try and find a link, and I'll post it in the description of what I mean, and it is a lovely sound. but that sound is basically why they nicknamed it the Whistling Death. Now Moxie decides wisely to target this C205 11 miles out. Not certain if Moxie plays with kilometers or miles, but even so. So now once again we're going to skip ahead. And there you can see a massive furball underneath poor Moxie, and I bet he is thinking, shit. You can see here his team's useless. They've probably gotten 1 or 2 kills. And well, they're dying like flies. They really are dying like flies. Obviously Moxie wants to try and help his team, so he's moving into intercept. We'll go back to 4x3 because I just wanted you guys to see the furball. But here Moxie decides to dive in. I believe this is the F4U 190 that he saw earlier. Is that the F4U? Yeah, that's the F4U. Now I'm not sure if the F4U actually saw Moxie, but he starts doing aileron rolls. Moxie's screaming in like a banshee at over 500 miles an hour. The Corsair is not liking this very much, but Moxie keeps the speed on, does some damage to Ivan Danny. He keeps the speed on, doesn't try to turn, and he just keeps his speed up, exactly how you should fly the Corsair. This is how this bird was meant to fly. And well, she's going to do her well for Moxie's flight. Moxie wisely uses energy to go back up to 17,000 feet approximately, and he begins another dive. This time he's going to go for Deviatka Cresty in the 205 Series 1. He sets the engine block on fire, and down he goes. Moxie's first kill of the game. Some beautiful boom and zoom in here, Moxie. It's very rare I see a Corsair pilot using her bird properly, or using their bird properly. And well, it's amazing to just watch a Corsair dance between 4, now, well, it was 5, but Moxie took care of him. 5 enemy planes. And that's why I think Moxie's running ground belts, because that did basically nothing to that plane. Couple of hits, yeah, but... But these two poor Spitfires are just getting gangbanged by these guys. There's no other word for it, people. Gangbanging is the only word I can think of. I'm sure Dave Schilling might know a word or two about it. But yeah, Moxie's pulling it to the vertical, obviously to try and stall everyone out. He's using his energy superbly. Using a great energy retention of the Corsair. He dives down again to get the 202. Blows the elevators off the 202. He's going to go down in the next few moments for Moxie's second kill. Obviously, Riyadh here gets onto his tail, but the 202 just doesn't have enough horsepower to keep up with the Corsair. Moxie takes it back into the vertical, and oh, this is some of the best maneuvering I've ever seen a Corsair pilot do. And well, Moxie, here's a challenge for you. Do what I did in my F4U-1A US Marine Corps flight when I got 8 kills. Do it 1 ammo belt. I got it all in 2350 rounds, which I think this thing carries. It's a great plane though, people. If you do know how to boom and zoom, this is going to be one of your favourite planes. But after this match, Moxie unlocked the Lucy Bell camouflage, and to be honest, you earned it, pal. And you're going to see that Concorde guy later in chat. I found it quite hilarious when Moxie actually sent me the chat replay, or the chat screenshot. He reports Moxie for shooting him down. Spoiler alert. That's the only spoiler, I promise. But he reports Moxie for shooting him down. Don't get that makes sense. But Moxie's already up to 3 kills. He's doing really well for himself. But that F4U just turned it too hard, and obviously if Moxie follows that maneuver, he is going to pancake. Ivan Danny attempts to follow him, but the Corsair's got too much power. Now Moxie attempts to stall him out here, which is the right maneuver, but he's going to take some hits in return for doing so. Now in a vertical maneuver, a Corsair has a good chance of defeating a 109, but that 109's just got a bit too much energy under his belt. At this point, I think Moxie's starting to run dry on ammo. If not, out of ammo. For some reason he puts his smoke on, I've got no idea why. But now Moxie just opens up the throttles of that R2800 engine and just pulls away from these guys. He's going to leave them for dust, people. So now we're going to skip ahead to, well, we're going to skip ahead to Moxie's landing. Obviously, he's outrunning these guys, no problem at all. Ivan Danny will never keep up. He tells the boomerang to potentially wait for him, but the boomerang goes charging in and deals with 2 enemy planes himself. I think the 111 crashed though. So Moxie's got a bit of a fuel leak, but that's no biggie. And touchdown. Put it down beautifully, mate. And now we're moving on to the final part of the match. I don't know what decal that is on his tail. I know he's got some sort of Polish Air Force around just wrapped around his engine cowling to make it look a bit more unique. But I'd love to know what decal you got in your tail section, buddy. Well, your rudder, I should say. Vertical stabilizer if you want to go more technical. But now obviously Moxie's taken off and he's obviously climbing away to get to altitude, because you need altitude in the Corsair. If you don't get altitude in the Corsair, you're a muppet. That's all I'll say. There are 2 enemy players left. Dragon LP in his BF-109 F1 and Concorde, which was the name of a very famous jet airliner. Well, supersonic airliner, I should say. But because of a DC-10, we don't have them in the sky anymore. Yeah, another plane caused the accident, and it fucking crashed. But yet they blame the Concorde for it. No. Yeah, she was expensive to run, but I'm sorry, I'd rather have a Concorde. I've always wanted to go on Concorde when I first saw it for the first time, but then I learned they were not actually in the skies anymore. It's like how I'd want to do a flight in a Spitfire or something like that. Or maybe paradrop out of a C-47 Skytrain, that'd be awesome. Now Moxie was going to go for the bomber pilot there, Concorde, but he decided wisely to engage Dragon LP. And for some reason, Dragon LP decides to go head on against Moxie. Now, whenever I say to Moxie, would you like some pew-pews? He's actually pretty good at head-ons. He's almost as good as me. So you can see where this is going already. Moxie fires a nice long burst full of 109, dodges out of the way beautifully, pilot snipes the 109, and that's the end of him. Moxie's now licking his lips in anticipation as he dives down on Concorde. And a Ju-88 A4 stands no chance against an F4U-1A US Marine Corps Corsair. Rakes the guns across the board beautifully. Boomer zooms out the other side at over 400 miles an hour. Uses his energy superbly. Concorde attempts to turn for some reason onto Moxie's tail, but it's a Ju-88. It's not going to happen, is it? And now all it takes is Moxie to just loop it over, dive back down on the Ju-88, and rip him a new one in the 50s. Blows the wing right off. And we'll now end it because he's just said he's been reported for shooting him down. Oh dear. I swear, childish players like this guy, I mean he's level 29 for Christ's sake. Terrible stats, and he just thinks, oh mummy, a plane shot me down in a video game where I'm meant to get shot down. I don't bloody know. But yeah, great job Moxie, as per usual. You always give me a good replay. Like when you gave me that SM91. Yeah, don't worry about this arsehole. You shot him down. You got your ace. Well done to you, and you got your camouflage unlocked. So like I said, mate, if you could let me know what that camo or that decal is, I'd like to know, because it looks quite interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that is Polish. For the Polish Air Force right now. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. If you want to send in any replays, you know the drill. email address. I swear to God, my tongue is slipping this morning. Email address is in the description below, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at any replays you send. And I'll catch you all on the next one.